Hi, my name is Teresa and I'm going to read this story about the tiny bear from Chicken Soup for the Child's Soul. Aunt Evie had a miniature dollhouse. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. Everything about it looked so real, as if tiny people had handcrafted each little doorknob and every piece of furniture. Every Friday, I went to Aunt Evie's because Friday was card night for my grandparents and their brothers and sisters. We were gathered around in the dining room, eating pie and laughing, while I looked at the dollhouse for hours. Sometimes I would pick up the delicate furnishing and place them in different positions. It was fun to decorate with the little items. Once I asked Aunt Evie where she got the little miniatures so that I could buy some too one day, but Aunt Evie said that most of the miniatures were handcrafted and couldn't be replaced. One such item was a small teddy bear an inch high. I was amazed by how beautifully it was sewn together. It was so tiny and had two little beads for eyes. I wanted the bear so badly. If I take it, Aunt Evie wouldn't even notice it's missing, but I could hold it in my hands and admire it all day long. I thought to myself. That Friday night, it took me a couple of hours to get the courage to take the bear and put it in my pocket. I had to wait until nobody was watching me. Once the bear was in my pocket, I couldn't wait to get home and look at it. I would have to hide it somewhere at home so that no one would know I had it. That night, I couldn't sleep. I tossed and turned and couldn't get comfortable. What an awful person I am, I thought. I'm a thief and I stole from my family. When I woke up the next morning, I had a fever, but didn't seem to have a cold. I stayed in bed to punish myself for what I did. I couldn't tell my grandmother or Aunt Evie. I was too embarrassed about what I did. There's no turning back, I thought. I felt worse and worse. My stomach started aching badly. I started hating the bear. I hated myself too, and knew that if I didn't do something quickly, I wouldn't be released from the bad feeling I was having. I decided to tell my grandmother. My hands were shaking, and I couldn't hold back the tears. I thought you knew better than to do something like that. My grandmother shook her head in disappointment. I feel awful, Granny. I can't live with myself and what I have done, I said. There's only one way to make this right. You have to take the bear back and tell Aunt Evie what you did, she said. I started to panic. Facing Aunt Evie and telling her that her niece was a thief was too much to ask. Aunt Evie will never forgive me, and for the rest of her life, I will be embarrassed to look at her face, and I thought. You're going to stand up and take the consequences for what you did, whether you like it or not, my grandmother said. My fingers were trembling when I rang Aunt Evie's doorbell. She opened the door as if she already knew what I was gonna say. I showed her the little bear and told her I was sorry. Quietly, Aunt Evie picked up a box by the door and handed it to me. Inside was a miniature tea set. I admire your courage for coming here and returning the bear. You are my favorite niece. Even more now, Aunt Evie said. During the ride home, I looked at the bedroom on my lap. My stomach felt a lot better.